Hello again. We will see now the different 7 clusters in detail and how in the different clusters, business value and customer value can be created through AI. For each cluster, we first give a general overview, and next we discuss the cluster according to the themes and keywords that emerge from the analysis. Let's start with the cluster 1, which is named AI techniques and applications. The first cluster refers to the AI analysis techniques, knowledge creation, decision-making, and applications. This category includes in total 30 papers, which were published. From a theoretical perspective, authors in this category build on literature related to AI application and techniques in marketing, such as machine learning, big data, text and picture analysis, and recommender systems. In particular, 3 main subtopics, which are discussed in the next paragraph, emerge in this cluster. First of all, machine learning, deep learning and neural networks, which are computer programs that learn from experience with respect to some class of task and performance measures. For example, behavior prediction based on transactional data. Second, natural language processing, which is text mining used to brand buzz monitoring. And finally, and third, recommendation algorithms and recommender systems, which are used to make product recommendations or deliver personalized content to users. We can name here collaborative filtering, content-based filtering, and this approach is widely used by many firms such as YouTube, Netflix, Spotify, or Amazon to make product or service recommendations to customers. Cluster 2, which we name human AI interactions in service encounters. The second cluster is related to interactions between customers and AI agents in service encounters. In this cluster, we found in total 38 papers. The predominant theoretical framework regards anthropomorphism theories, followed by social perception theories, social presence theories, and the theory of multiple intelligence and job replacement. Virtual assistants and conversational agents are mostly investigated in this segment. We can subsegment this cluster in different segments. So the first concerns AI service agents, which are technological enablers of service AI. For example, service robots, chatbots, and virtual assistants. Service robots are defined as system-based autonomous and adaptable interfaces that interact, communicate, and deliver service to an organization and their customers. Robots can be programmed to carry out a series of actions, movements, or tasks to provide human-like service delivery. Virtual agents are computer-generated, disembodied conversational agents designed to function as a customer service representative. Chatbots are automated programs that interact with humans, processing textual data and determining an appropriate response, typical through a chat platform to answer consumer requests and queries. There are also virtual assistants that can be voice-based, thus responding to voice commands on performing tasks such as creating to-do lists, managing schedules, and placing phone calls. For example, Apple Siri, Amazon's Alexa, Microsoft's Cortana, or Google Now. These technologies can also be referred to as conversational agents, defined as a physical or virtual autonomous technological entity capable of reactive and proactive behavior in the environment, which are able to accept natural language as input and generate natural language as output in order to conduct conversation with the users. In the following, we will use the general term of AI service agent to indicate all these different technological enablers of service AI. As AI agents are predicted to be employed in an increasing variety of customer-facing situations, an increasing number of academics and firms have started to investigate and use human AI interactions within many different service contexts and through different theoretical lenses. Examples come from the tourism and travel industry for bookings or service recovery. In retail, one can find Alexa. It is forecasted that 90% of the firms adopt an AI service agent until 2022. A second sub-segment in the second cluster concerns anthropomorphism and human likeness. One of the most recurrent topics in AI research is in the cluster two is anthropomorphism, where people attribute human-like traits to non-human agents, such as chatbots or robots. Human-like appearance evokes a human schema, and human-like behaviors lead to attributions of a mind. A vast stream of research highlights the benefits of attributing human-like characteristics to machines, such as chatbots or virtual agents. In this regard, drawing from anthropomorphism and parasocial interaction theories, research shows that virtual voice assistants possess strong anthropomorphic cues that are perceived as human-like, favoring the formation of parasocial relationships between customers and the AI agents. Functional elements of voice-based virtual assistants, such as usefulness and ease of use, drive positively users' attitude and adoption toward using virtual assistants and the acceptance of AI recommendations. Anthropomorphism furthermore affects positively consumers' evaluation of a recommended product in shopping environments. Besides acceptance of AI, research shows also that anthropomorphism positively affects engagement with the AI agent and with the brand. On the other hand, the social attributes, in particular social presence, which refers to the extent to which technology makes customers feel the presence of another social entity, for example, a human or a service robot, are fundamental to developing trusting relationships with the AI agents. Consistently, as in human relationships, also in human AI agent interactions, trust is fundamental to develop relationships with a virtual AI-based agent. Drawing on extended self theory, individuals develop feelings of control, mastery, and superiority that encourage them to extend their relationship with anthropomorphized voice-based assistants. Increased interactions are more likely when consumers feel superior to the device, leading them to enjoy the ability to extend themselves through their interactions. However, the extended use of anthropomorphized virtual assistants as partners might have a negative effect on the user's future usage intentions, as they might be disillusioned by the lack of real emotional interaction and emotional capacities of the AI agent. In this regard, that emotional intelligence of AI plays a critical role in customer-employees interactions. For this reason, customers tend to prefer human employee services over AI. Therefore, emotional support offered by a digital assistant can help to increase customer satisfaction via the perceived warmth. And consistently, customers prefer human agents for products with higher symbolic value because customers have stronger uniqueness motives in more symbolic consumption contexts. Indeed, the need for uniqueness and personalized services seems a strong driver of consumer preferences towards human interactions. To overcome customer preferences toward humans, research seems to point out that humans prefer to engage with realistic, anthropomorphic AI agents, feeling able to build parasocial relationships with them. And in this regard, humans have the tendency to assign humanity to an artificial stimulus as long as it has at least minimal human features. Accordingly, the interaction modality between human and technology needs to be as realistic as possible. In this regard, consumers seem to prefer forms of interaction with AI voice assistants, as speech is perceived as more human-like and realistic, thus positively contributing consumers' interaction with the technology. In a third subsegment in this cluster, research deals with gender and identity of AI-based agents. Also, gender and agent identity seems to affect consumers' preferences towards AI. Concerning the gender of AI, research in human-robot interaction has shown that people tend to assign more social qualities to female bots, including characteristics such as warmth, friendliness, and higher capacity to experience emotions. In addition, individuals tend to prefer female chatbots over male chatbots because it is perceived as more human and more likely to consider consumers' unique needs. Concerning the identity of the agent, undisclosed chatbots seem to be as effective as humans in engendering customer purchases. On the other hand, a disclosure of AI-based chatbot identity before the machine customer conservation tends to drastically reduce purchase rates. Thus, despite the objective competence of the AI agent, there seems to be a negative disclosure effect driven by a subjective human perception against machines and AI. This effect has also been shown in other contexts. For instance, drawing from evolution theory investigates psychological mechanisms that explain consumers' interaction with medical AI and a human doctor using experience. Consumers perceive an identical personalized conversation differently when it is offered by a medical AI versus a human doctor. Indeed, consumers are reluctant to use healthcare provided by AI and prefer human doctors. Thus, positive perception towards AI-based agent can be triggered with the agent gender, or rather female, for more empathy and emotions, and the agent identity. Rather anthropomorphized, humanized agents. As individuals seem to have pre-configured algorithm aversion biases, preferring humans even when the machine outperforms them. Another important subtopic in this second cluster deals with human bot replacements. Besides investigating AI agent characteristics and the way they affect form customer relationships, another stream of research focuses on the way AI agents will affect service employees. In this regard, if on the one hand AI constitutes a major source of innovation, on the other hand, it is increasingly replacing service jobs. Thus, research develops a theory of AI job replacement to describe and predict the way AI is likely to replace tasks and change the ways services provided. Firstly, the theory specifies that 4 intelligences are required for service tasks, namely mechanical, analytical, intuitive, and empathetic AI. AI job replacement occurs fundamentally at the task level and for lower, easier for AI intelligence tasks. For instance, mechanical intelligence, which concerns the ability to automatically perform routine, repeated tasks, for example, service recovery, booking, information delivery, check-in or check-out, is the first to be replaced by AI. In this phase, AI is seen rather as an augmentation than a replacement of humans. Analytical skills refer to the ability to process information for problem solving and learn from it. They replace humans in the data science and big data management. Here also augmentation is done to enhance the skills of the data miners. Finally, intuitive and empathetic skills are the highest level of AI and most important for service employees. Here, service employees are far away to be replaced as AI is far away from these skills. When AI will be capable of executing both intuitive and empathetic functions, new forms of human-machine collaboration service delivery will be defined, posing a serious challenge to human work. Then employees should engage in collaborative forms of interactions with AI, as machines are computational, whereas humans are of biological nature. Therefore, each of them has its own strengths based on the different levels of forms of intelligence and should collaborate. In fact, if on the one hand AI has stronger qualities to perform mechanical and analytical marketing and consumption tasks, on the other hand, human intelligence is still stronger for tasks which need intuitions and empathy. For this reason, a lower level of AI should first augment the higher levels of human intelligence. Service agents should closely collaborate with the technology to perform repetitive and time-intensive or frustrating tasks and focus on high-value added tasks needing intuition and empathy. For instance, at the mechanical level, consumers might use AI for saving time and effort on mechanical consumption tasks. Consumers can augment the consumption intuition by using mechanical and analytical AI applications. Only when the AI will be endowed with empathy and intuition, replacement will be an option.